Listen up.
Hi, Lucy. Hi, Kel.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a Monday podcast with Lucy.
Hello.
And Casey.
Yo.
And I am also in the same vicinity as the other two. Now, brand new podcast, brand new week, great show.
Yep.
Tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
We had some big conversations that you're going to enjoy later on in the podcast, including popcorn and the last words you would bestow on your loved ones if you knew it was your last day on Earth. It was a deep and profound conversation, Les.
I tell you what, I will say, if you have tissues near you for this podcast, you may need them. It is an emotional potty, this one. Often we like lots of fun, but we did end up, me sobbing and listeners sobbing, and it got all very emotional, which I also love because that's a big part of who I am. But I just thought, be warned. Be warned.
Be warned about this latest podcast. It could induce emotion. Speaking of that, I thought, as we like to do sometimes, if we get super serious about stuff, maybe we lighten the mood a little bit. Would you like me to attempt to lighten the mood?
Yep.
Well, of course, it's a deep conversation to talk about your last words and how you impart the wisdom that you have accrued over a lifetime to your loved ones on your deathbed, which is essentially what we did on the show this morning.
100%.
So I thought, wouldn't it be funny to go through a list of funniest tombstones? So these are tombstones, actual tombstones that people have had commissioned to be bestowed in the ground upon their burial. And there are some great ones from some very famous people.
Okay.
An anonymous tombstone that actually exists in real life, and on the tombstone it is just ha 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 with all exclamation marks, because they're suggesting that they had the last laugh.
That's
real
hilarious.
life tombstones.
That's so good.
Mel Blanc, the voice of 1,000 cartoon characters back in the day, the Looney Tunes. On his tombstone. That's all, folks.
Oh, no way. Actually.
That's all, folks.
Wow.
It says Mel Blanc, a man of 1,000 voices, beloved husband and father. That's all, folks.
Oh, that's beautiful.
See, they're kind of sweet.
I like that.
We've got Merv Griffin,
Okay.
who was a talk show host in American TV history, like back in the old black and white days.
Right.
And his tombstone is, I will not be right back after this message.
Oh. Really? This is true?
This Merv
These
Griffin.
people have good senses of
They're
humour.
great senses of
That's so good.
somebody who's not famous but apparently got in on this gag early. And I've heard this gag before, but there is somebody out there that engraved on their tombstone, I told you I was sick.
That's good.
Just like the people. Just like the people. And this can't be real. This cannot be real. But apparently,
No. Okay.
Jack Lemmon, who were in some amazing films back in the 40s, 50s and 60s. Some Like It Hot, The Odd Couple, apparently, and if this is true, this is amazing. Jack Lemmon, TV show star, movie star of the Hollywood age.
Yeah.
His tombstone simply says his name. Jack Lemmon,
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
and that's it. So it's like a credit on a film. Normally it'd be Jack Lemmon in The Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Instead it says Jack Lemmon in the ground.
Genius.
I just Googled it. It's true.
It's 100% true, and I salute
True.
the senses of humour all of those individuals had upon the day of them not existing
I
anymore.
love that.
Oh, God. There you go.
But again, if you want to be super sad, listen to the rest of our
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Can I just say I had a great weekend. I did a lot of self-care on the weekend. I really slowed down, looked after myself.
Good.
Got my house all in order, which I love. Helps my mental health if my house is immaculate. I also managed to get to the shops for a little bit of a shoppy shop.
Nice.
A little wander shop, like a full, like, no rush, do what you want shop. I had nothing waiting for me at home. Kel had his kids, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to go out. Got myself an iced coffee, walked around,
Oh, the vibes.
tried on clothes, like the vibes.
Yeah.
And had a lovely old time. I was at Knox, got stopped by Lucy and Kel listeners, which was lovely. And I will have something in my bag in the future for when people stop me. I keep meaning to get a little gift in my bag.
Taking a leaf out of the brick man.
Yes, except I'm going to get, I've got them made. They're on their way, little Lucy and Kel stickers. So if your little kids come up, I've got little cute stickers. Yeah. But I met a lovely little girl who had just gone to basketball. But I did walk past a man and his sons, and I heard half a conversation and I didn't hear the other half. And this bugging me because I can't figure out what this guy would have been saying. So I thought I'll ask you two, and you can tell me what you think the rest of the line was.
That's fun.
So as a dad, 2 sons, I would say about 11 and 13, 14. That's the age group.
Okay.
Dad looks really serious. So instantly I was like, well, what is he saying? I walk past and I hear this. I've written it down. You must never, ever let a water bottle... And I didn't hear the rest. And I walked past and I was like, what is the end of that sentence? You must never, ever let a water bottle...
I reckon that one of the kids was sick and the dad was like, you must never, ever let that water bottle be shared around.
You must never, ever let a water bottle be shared when you're sick.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Genius.
I couldn't even think of that. You're right.
Did he look a bit sick?
No, I don't know. Yeah, why not? But
kids are sick.
That would make sense. You must never, ever let a water bottle be shared when you're sick. Casey, it's been bugging me for 4 days.
I've cracked it.
You must never, ever let a water bottle sit in the sun. You must never, ever let a water bottle touch a bubbler if when you're filling it. You must never, ever let a water bottle be forgotten on a hot day. Like, what was he saying and why was he angry?
Cal?
What has occurred to me is that Lucy does not know what the answer is, but you are right.
Yeah, you are right. I
Lucy
reckon
will
he had his
never know.
2 sons. One was sick, one borrowed it, and he said, you must never, ever
That's
let
serious.
a water bottle be shared with your brother when you're sick. Now Jaden's going to get sick. Get into Aldi. That's exactly what was happening. It really helped.
No worries.
Because I was like, why is he so angry?
I'm a dad myself, so I know these things.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
It was movie night across the weekend at our house. Kids' choice, and they wished to watch the latest offering from Jurassic Park. Yes, Jurassic Park. The latest movie is out on your streaming services. My son's seen all of them, and my daughter was in for a new experience. She hadn't seen any of the Jurassic Parks. She kind of gets it. If you've never seen Jurassic Park, it's kind of the same movie every single time. They're like dinosaurs. What could go wrong? And then things go wrong. And people get eaten. Can I say, though, the Jurassic Park movies that we have now, very family-friendly compared to the Jurassic Park movies that you and I grew up with. There were people getting eaten on toilets and body parts and blood. In these movies, it's like it's done off-screen. You almost see it.
The first Jurassic Park was traumatic.
I know. Well, this one, I mean, I can see if you've never seen a Jurassic Park movie before, you don't know that it's basically dinosaurs having lunch. You might get a little bit upset. But this is a fairly family-friendly version of Jurassic Park where most people are not being seen.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Except for the bad guy at the very end. You've always got to see the bad guy get what he deserves. Anyway, Jurassic Park, the kids loved it. And there's one thing that I found out about my kids, because I've watched movies with them before, but they're always like Disney movies. Now they're tweens, so they're kind of watching more visceral, emotional, sort of action, sort of exciting movies. And I realised that 2 members of my family, the tweens, are very interactive when it comes to watching movies. Now, for me, when I watch a movie, I sit there and I absorb the movie and I internalise what's going on and I enjoy it as a piece of art.
Yeah.
My kids are the sorts of kids that are screaming at the TV, trying to warn the actors of the impending dinosaurs, throwing popcorn at the TV, cannot believe some of the decisions that are being made in the movie. Why would you go into that cave where it's all dark by yourself?
Don't do it!
And I thought, oh, here we go. I've just discovered that my tweens are interactive when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
And I know of grown-ups. I know of one particular grown-up to this very day. Professional lady, held down a very important job, who would sit there on the couch at a very mature age and try to get the people on the screen to understand that he's not telling you the truth. He's not the one. You don't know this person? Lucy's like, is it me? No, it's not. You're different.
I don't do that.
You go,
watch
I
it.
haven't been paying attention to the last 20 minutes. Can you tell me what's happening?
Why is the dinosaur trying to eat someone?
Yeah.
I'd be
Could
like,
could we go back 10 minutes so I can
Who's
actually...
that guy?
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention.
The other guy cried quickly the other day. I said, who's that guy? And Kel goes, this is an ad. And I was like, oh.
Oh, right.
I went, what has that guy got to do with it? Kel goes, this is an ad, honey.
So you are not interactive. You're actually the opposite of interactive. You're not even really paying attention.
No, I'm not. I'm on my phone.
Yes.
Sorry.
But this grown woman would be like, no, don't you know he's the bad guy? And we're like, you know that they can't actually hear you yelling at the TV.
That's funny.
My kid's very interactive. and always just trying to warn everybody about the dinosaurs. Very worried about the kids and the family that are in this movie. No spoilers, but I said, hey, it's Jurassic Park. No kid ever gets eaten by a dinosaur. That's the Jurassic Park rules. And they both went, oh, yeah, you mean plot armor. And I'm like, you watch too much stuff on YouTube to know what plot armor is. Anyway, I thought very quickly, there are different types of people when it comes to movies. My tweens, I've discovered, are very interactive now. And I'm not shaming you. I think it's just a different way of experiencing movies.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I've seen my tweens do it now. I've seen grown-ups do it. I've seen people do it at the movies. There's always one person in the movie when we used to go and see movies as a community. There's always one woman who, when the big reveal happens like a third of the way through the movie, she's the one that didn't see it coming. And she's up the back going, oh, my goodness. And you're like, okay, well, now you know what's going on. A lot of people are interactive when it comes to movies. I think it's a bit like the pantomimes of old.
It's behind you.
Where?
Behind you.
And somehow that's in our DNA from back in the days of jesters
Yeah.
and medieval times, and
Yeah.
we just yell at TV screens now.
Yeah.
Some of us do.
Yeah.
Not all of us.
Some text coming through. Yes, you're correct. Jess says, I am that person. I will yell, don't go in there, like they can hear me. My husband refuses to watch movies with me anymore.
There are some people that can't handle it.
Yes, and
I've
Ringwood.
learned to handle it. There were so many questions on the weekend about why are they doing this? What's going to happen to this person? I'm like, why don't we stop talking about it and just watch the movie and find out together?
Marie in Werribee goes, I clap at the end of movies in the cinema every time. I don't care. She goes, if they made it, they deserve applause.
You called out people that applaud.
I did.
I don't mind people applauding at the end of a movie. If they've enjoyed it.
I've clapped. I clapped at the end of Wicked. I clapped at the end of Hamilton. I clapped.
Because of the
I don't-
performances or because of the outcome of the story?
All things.
All things.
All things. No, all of it. The experience. Tanya in Glen Waverley says, I commentate the whole thing like it's a sport. Oh, he's made a poor decision there. My kids hate it.
Didn't you say, I don't know if this was your dad, but a lot of dads do that where they sort of stand at the back of the couch,
Yeah.
pacing back and forth.
Oh,
going,
that's my
I wouldn't
dad.
have done that or
Yeah.
wouldn't have done that, what he's done right there.
Yeah.
And you're like, Dad, either sit down and watch the movie or leave.
Yeah. You'll like this text from Michael and Berwick. He goes, no talking aloud at our house. If you speak during the movie, I will pause it and I will look at you.
Oh, that's a fun night with...
I'm a bit like that, though. If Kel comes and talks to me when I'm watching something, I'll stop everything and I'll turn to him and I'll be like,
with a sigh. Yes, can I help
yep,
you?
what do you want to chat about right now? So I get you, Michael. I get you.
And that's in 90 Day Fiancé. That's...
The Lucy and Kel podcast. You're going to love this next bit. Oh, spoiler alert.
My darling daughter Nina has just started year 7 with her brother Matthew. And, you know, with year 7 comes a lot of stuff that's going on, both academically and socially. And my twins, Matthew and Nina, went into year 7 without their friends from primary school, which is always tough because you've got to reset your sort of social network as you launch into a brand new year at a brand new school. Now, that's going well in some cases and not so well in others, but Nina took it upon herself across the weekend to organise herself a play date with her bestie and a few other friends from primary school. And she said, Dad, I'd love to see my friends from primary school. They chat together, but they haven't seen each other face to face really since last year. And I said, babes, you organise it and I'll be the dad taxi. And she organised a bit of a get-together and we drove all the way down to Southland, and I was under the full understanding of how I used to operate as a child, and that was mums and dads are super embarrassing and I don't want to be seen with mum and dad in front of my cool friends. And I used to operate that way. I used to be like, Mum, this is far enough. Just drop us a few blocks before school or just drop me off at Southland, Mum. I'll take care of myself. You don't have to be involved, Mum. Please go away. And it's just a normal sort of development as you're a teenager, growing into yourself, growing into your independence. And I was fully ready to be at Southland yesterday, but not around. My darling daughter and Matthew have a mobile phone to stay in contact with me now, so I was fully prepared for the conversation. I'll drop you here. I'll be around,
Yeah.
but I won't be anywhere in visual range to embarrass you in front of your friends.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, Dad, I want you with me. And I'm like, what? She says, no, I need you to be walking around with us. I'm not embarrassed by you. And I was like, my darling, I've never experienced anything like this. I wasn't like this growing up. I was awful to my parents. I thought they were the daggiest. I just didn't want them. I didn't want my friends to know I had parents. She's like, no, I love you, Dad.
So
and I want you to be around. So I walked around with my darling daughter Nina and my son Matthew and all of her friends, and I didn't feel like at one point she was embarrassed by my existence, which is new for me.
I'm really proud of you.
I've got two older kids. I've got a son who's now 20 and a daughter who's 18 who do everything within their power not to be seen with me in public. And the kids are different.
Yeah.
Like, I was like that. I was like my older kids. I was very independent and I didn't want mum or dad around when I was with my friends. But this is new for me. We went to Time Zone together. Now, maybe because I was bringing the credit card with me, maybe that was one of the reasons. But more often, I want to believe the reason was my daughter, who is 12, turning 13, was not embarrassed to be seen with me in front of her friends.
I think you hit the nail on the head a few moments ago.
The credit card?
It's the walking bank of Dad.
That's not entirely true.
It's like, Dad,
I walked...
get me this, and you're on some high because you're like, oh, I'm with my...
I wasn't.
They think I'm cool. And
Well,
they're like, hey, you,
look at it
get
this
me
way.
a boba. And you're like,
All right.
okay.
Okay.
Like, it's obvious, mate.
Look at it this way. I wasn't walking 12 steps behind, and I got a couple of hugs from Nina in front of her friends.
How much did you spend on everyone?
Not much. Actually, one of her friends was super loaded and basically financed the whole thing. Where does a 12-year-old get that much cash? I'm not sure. But one of her friends was actually buying all the games for everyone. And the kids loved it, and I was happy that I was able to witness it, to see all the kids so happy. Now, I explained this to Lucy yesterday, and Lucy's like, I don't understand what you mean about being embarrassed by your parents, because you were never embarrassed by your mum.
Never.
At any age.
I would have
Growing
hung out with
up.
my mum for forever.
Really?
Yeah. I never would have been like, don't walk with me. I was always like, walk with me. Let's hang. We're best friends. Yep.
15, 16, with your other friends?
Yep.
Wow.
Best friend. My mum was my best friend, and I loved her, and I still love my mum. And I was never like, nah, like she'd drive right up to school, drive right up to the gates, and I'd get in your car. I was never embarrassed about my mum.
So the opposite of me growing up.
Yeah,
Let's
the
get
opposite.
over to Producer Casey. Producer Casey, you're the youngest of us all.
Yes.
You were only a baby a couple of weeks ago.
Just a baby.
Were you ever seen caught with your friends and yourself? Did you want your mum there at the time?
Never.
Never,
Not
not
even
once.
to drop me off. I took the bus. I was like, don't worry,
Really?
Mum. Yeah.
What's wrong with
Mum,
you?
I don't want you anywhere near where I'm going.
If my daughter right now is in like peak hang with mum era, if that ever changes, if Shiloh, the apple of my eye, turns to me and she's like, Mum, don't come near me, I will fall on the ground and sob and wail, and I'll like put sackcloth and ashes on, and
Will
I'll
you-
shave my head, and I will mourn.
Will you be doing it in front of her friends?
Yes.
Okay. That's probably why she'll be saying, Mum, just drop me off here and I'll be fine.
She can't do that. There are texts coming through. Amanda in Doncaster says, my 14-year-old will happily come to the shops with me, but I'm not allowed to talk to her, and I have to walk 3 steps behind like security.
Not allowed to interact with her whilst in public.
But Kelly and Packman goes, my son still loves hanging with me. He's 11, and we do mum and him Macca's dates.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
But 11, I think, is still the sweet spot.
I hope so.
I think you're still getting hugs at 11.
Yeah.
And especially if McDonald's is involved.
Yeah.
I would go to McDonald's right now with my mum and dad and be happy.
Of course you would. Livia, good morning, Livia. Livia, by the way, is on her way to the airport for a family break, and she has a 7-year-old in the car. Hello, Zoe Rosa. Zoe's been loving the show this morning, but Livia said, I asked that question to Zozo, are you embarrassed by me with your friends when dropping you to school? And she goes, sadly, she took a while to reply, but she's only 7, so maybe she doesn't understand yet. Zoe, never be embarrassed about your mum.
Are you saying Zoe was being diplomatic?
I don't know.
Parents, let us know. Are you dealing with this with your kids? Are they embarrassed to be seen with you in public, or are they cool?
Just quickly, I did a little bit of research. Apparently, roughly 1 in 10 children are so embarrassed by their parents' choice of outfit, they refuse to be accompanied on the school pickup, and the same percentage have apologised to their friends about what their mum or dad was wearing.
All right, so it's parents' fashion choices.
And I got to say, I'm very fashionable, and I did go to Shiloh's school once, and I was head to toe in a red Adidas tracksuit, which looked iconic, and she kind of looked at me, and she was like, oh, you look like a lobster, and then she whispered to her friends, and I thought, it's a bit of a miss here.
Okay.
Shouldn't have gone dressed in bright red to my daughter's
You
school.
thought you were looking iconic, though, and you're letting all the kids know about it. Rose and Doreen, very quickly. Good morning, Rose.
Good morning, Lucy and Kel. Happy Monday.
Very good, Rose. Were you embarrassed by your mum or dad at any point when you were growing up in front of your friends?
No. My mum was also in the tuck shop and working at McDonald's as well. So I was never embarrassed by my mum, and I'm not even embarrassed today going shopping with her.
Rose, if I grew up knowing that my mum worked at Macca's, I would be so proud of my mum.
Oh, yeah.
In the 80s.
Oh, that would be an
Oh,
iconic.
my
That's
goodness.
iconic.
That is iconic.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
Lucy and I have connected on a level that I never thought we'd connect before. We've got a lot in common, you and I, Luce.
Yes.
We connect on some things, we disconnect on others. But it all comes down to this. Let me explain. Popcorn. Popcorn is the currency of choice in our household. There ain't no thing that popcorn can't fix. And on the weekend, even though I'm a terrible cook, I have the ability to pop popcorn in the microwave. It's those sachets. Yeah, it's a bag.
Yeah, popcorn bag.
That you pop into the microwave.
Yep, 2 minutes exactly.
Well, no.
Yes.
No, I read the instructions. And I know it's hard for me at my age to read instructions. It says place in microwave for 2 to 3 minutes. There's a window of 60 seconds.
You want black popcorn?
So when I saw the 2 to 3 minutes on the instructions of the popcorn on the weekend after offering Lucy some popcorn, to which, of course, she said yes, I realised something about myself. I popped the popcorn into the microwave and I put it on for 2 minutes exactly. Not 2 to 3 minutes.
No.
I'm not guessing. I put it on for 2 minutes. And around it goes. I'm standing there in front of the microwave, watching it turn around, and nothing's happening. And it's just spinning around. And then the first pop,
Yeah.
and the second pop, third and fourth, and all of a sudden,
That's how it
a
goes.
cacophony of pops.
That's how it works.
Get to 2 minutes, and the bell goes off,
Yeah.
and I open up the microwave,
Yeah.
and I open up the popcorn bag.
Yes.
Starts as a sachet, ends as a bag, and I pour the popcorn out. And I found myself doing one thing and one thing only. My internal mechanisms mean that I am watching that bag spin around in the microwave, and when the 2 minute bell dings, I pull it out, I open it up, I pour it into a bowl, and if I see one kernel of unpopped popcorn, I feel like I have failed in life and I have not done popcorn properly. Now, I thought this was just me. I thought there's something wrong with me. Who else in the world would be trying to pop all of the popcorn? I explained this to my wife. I'm like, don't judge me. I know this is stupid. And Lucy says, she looked into my eyes and she held my hand. She goes, oh no, I do that as well.
You want to get bang for buck. And a wasted kernel is a piece of popcorn never eaten. That is deep. That's a words to live by.
A couple of weeks ago, one kernel left. I poured the bag out, one kernel, and I stood there in the kitchen wanting it to pop. Like giving all of my life force energy into this one kernel just to pop spontaneously in the bowl.
That's not going to happen.
So I'd have a fully popped bag of popcorn. Crazy, right?
No, look, the thing is, there is every microwave, sorry,
Let me tell you a little bit about popcorn.
as a connoisseur.
As somebody who also, and this is, Lucy and I have never felt closer.
I think we have.
No, this is it.
Wedding date. I don't
This
know.
is it. Knowing that you need to pop
Listen.
all the popcorn in a popcorn bag.
Yeah, I just like it. I hate. I'll tell you why. A, it's wasteful. B, when you're tipping out popcorn and there's kernels in the bottom, I hate that.
When there's like 40 of them, I'm
Hate
like,
it. That's bad.
how are you even holding down
Because
a job?
every microwave has a different wattage. You've got your 800 watts to your, like up to your 1,100 watts. So obviously it all depends on the time. I have tested every time on a microwave to figure out the perfect poppage.
Have you ever popped them all?
I think I may have been very close.
but
I
never,
think
never.
I think I have.
Oh, I would have heard this. We would have had this
I
story.
didn't know you were interested in it.
at
That's why I never
every
told
dinner
you.
party. Let me tell you about the time.
But I think 2 minutes and 5 seconds on our one is
that
the
what I did wrong?
perfect. Yeah.
Well, there was one kernel left, so
Try
just
again.
Kicking myself.
Try
Kicking
again.
myself.
Try again, buddy. 6'8", whoever that is, said the phrase to yell when they all pop, because I did say we need to shout
need a
something.
catchphrase.
And he was like, we should yell, it's poppin'!
It's poppin'! And just run around the kitchen,
Yeah.
just throwing popcorn into the air.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that.
Pop
next
it
time.
off!
It's never happened though, so
No.
we'll let you know.
Craig says, good morning. I have never got everyone yet, but have you tried stopping the microwave midway and shaking the bag?
I have not.
No.
Does agitating the bag induce more poppin'? Craig asked the question.
Wes in lovely Lower Bank says, whoa, just a minute. One popcorn kernel makes a decision to exert their right to individuality and not follow the current fashion trends and just be themselves, and you're not supportive of this kernel? For shame.
No, kernel's got to pop.
That's what their life is intended for,
That's the whole
Wes.
purpose of a corn kernel, is to pop. in a microwave.
Yeah.
That's its one job. Surely, Wes. Anyway, it's an existential crisis that Wes is having.
Jody says, guys, it's not about the time. It's about the sound. You have to stay and listen and wait for the silence. Each bag is an individual and should be respected as such.
People are going a lot deeper than I thought they would on this question. Producer Casey's the same. Producer Casey listens. And if there's a 10-second pause after the last...
You've burnt your... If there's a 10-second pause... No, if there is a 10-second silence, you have burnt some of the popcorn.
Can I say I don't believe Casey has successfully popped a whole bag of popcorn either with this strategy. Jake, an officer, good morning.
Hey, how you going, guys?
Thank you so much for weighing in, Jake.
I believe you're a first-time caller. First-time caller.
It took this conversation
to get Jake on the phone.
That's what I love, Jake. Talk to me about popcorn.
So I live in the dark ages. I actually don't own a microwave.
Wow.
And I use the kernels and a bit of butter. I use it on my induction stovetop. And I reckon I've got about a 99% success rate for all kernels popped.
So you're looking down into the pan and judging the finish line by... Actually, Jake, I think you've actually cracked it.
Are you saying that you get it right 99% of the time, or you're 99% popping 100% of the popcorn?
No, so 99% of the time, they're all popped.
99% of the time, it works every time.
And is it better popcorn made on an induction oven?
I reckon it tastes a lot better. You get more even flavour, and I can just adjust the flavour by adding more butter.
Jake, are you a uni student?
No, I'm a primary school teacher.
Oh, okay, see?
He's just doing it old school. Gee.
All right.
The Lucy and Kel podcast. You're going to love this next bit. Oh, spoiler alert.
So the other day on the news, you might have seen an actor passed away at the age of 53, Eric Dane. You might know him from things like Grey's Anatomy. He was Dr. Sloan on Grey's Anatomy, really iconic-looking actor that a lot of us know. He passed away from horrific disease, ALS, and it made the headlines that he's left behind two beautifully young daughters. But whilst that was such unbelievably sad news when that happened, because a lot of people, especially Grey's Anatomy fans, and that's a lot of women in my age group, grew up watching him. What happened next was, it's even hard to find the words. He passed away, the world was grieving, and then Netflix released a very special doco that he had recorded to be aired as soon as he died, which is, to have the foresight to do that, to know that that was sitting there, it's just huge. He sat down with an interviewer called Brad Falchuk for this special called Famous Last Words, Eric Dane, and he reflected on his life and his career. It was an hour-long conversation. He talked about his ALS diagnosis. He talked about his worldview, his thoughts, and at the very end of the special, Brad, the interviewer, leaves the room, and then Dane was allowed to just speak by himself and leave a message for his daughters that would be, in essence, his very last message to his daughters, because the disease was taking his voice. And it's, as you can hear, we're going to play a little bit of the audio. It's hard to understand him because it's such an awful disease, and it is quite extraordinary that he had this moment to be able to leave a legacy for his daughters. And he decided to say to his daughters 4 things that he has learned from this disease. And this is a little bit of the audio from the doco.
I want to tell you 4 things I've learned from this disease, and I hope you won't just listen to me. I hope you'll hear me. First, live now, right now, in the present. It's hard, but I learned to do that. The past contains regrets. The future remains unknown, so you have to live now. Second, fall in love. Not necessarily with a person, but fall in love with something. Find your passion, your joy. Find the thing that makes you want to get up in the morning. Third, choose your friends wisely. Find your people and allow them to find you. And then give yourselves to them. The best of them will give back to you. No judgment, no conditions, no questions asked. Finally, fight. Fight. Never give up. Fight until your last breath. This disease is slowly taking my body, but it will never take my spirit. Billy and Georgia, you are my heart. You are my everything. Good night. I love you. Those are my last words.
And that's how the special ends, with those words to his daughter. His daughters, that he absolutely just loves them, and that's the words he wanted to be remembered for. Oh, They're the 4 things. Now, that's a real brief edit. It's a lot longer than that. We just cut it down. Number 1, live in the present. 2, fall in love with something. 3, find your people. And 4, fight with every ounce of your being and your dignity. Whenever anything comes up against you, never give up. Fight until your last breath. Oh, man, I watched it and I just was like, oof, just absolutely broken. I can't imagine how those 2 little girls are feeling. And I kept thinking, what a beautiful comfort, though, that they have that special and they have those words from their dad. No matter what happens, they've always got that. I thought that was really remarkable. I'm sorry, but it's just so sad.
There's nothing to be sorry about.
Life is so brutal sometimes, all the time, right? Life is extraordinary, and there are these times of great grief, and I just thought for him to leave this message for everyone was really special. And that's what I want to talk about this morning, because I was thinking about this. We never know what is around the corner. We never know what is coming for us. We don't know, and that's why I think it's a great reminder, things like this, to hug your kids tightly, hug your partner tightly, tell your family you love them. Like he said, live in the present, do what you love. But I was thinking about this, thinking they were his final bits of advice for his girls. And I was thinking, if I had to choose a bit of advice to leave with my daughter, what would that piece of advice be? If I asked you that, Kel, would you know how to answer that about your 4 kids?
I think if you've known me for as long as you've been listening, you'll know that probably living in the moment is the wisdom that I have extracted from life. I'm not somebody that worries about the future. As he said himself, the past is full of regrets and the future is unknown. If you can grasp the discipline to live in the moment, in your final moments, the last thing you're worried about is all the noise that is bouncing around your head right now.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel like you're missing out or you're not dealing with things that have gone before you. But I think living in the moment is key to happiness.
You know, isn't it funny, because we talk about living in the moment being like this new idea, but it's not. It's actually in the Bible. It's in one of our most ancient holy of texts about living in the moment, because, you know, what's done is done. Tomorrow's got enough worries of its own. You've got to be right now. So it's actually like a spiritual thing to do, to try and live and embody the moment. I think if you were to ask me what is the message I'd want to live with my daughter, I can't even, I struggle even to find the words for that. I can't even tell you what it would be, but like him, I'd want her to know that she was the love of my life, the greatest of me, and the best thing I've ever done. That's what I'd want my daughter to know. Secondary to that, I'd want her to know that she is unstoppable, and to never make herself small, to make herself big in every moment.
Good morning, Jody.
Good morning.
Jody, what did you feel listening to that?
My 14-year-old daughter and myself were both crying. Oh. Yep, so that's a nice start to the morning, but it's good to cry.
It is good to cry. Sometimes it's therapeutic, and it's a great reminder that life is precious and short and beautiful, and to treasure every moment. So I hope you can take that away. Jody, what was the message you would love your children to remember?
This was a hard one because there's so much you want to tell them, isn't there?
So much.
But I think I would tell them to live their life for themselves, not for me. Especially if I'm gone, we try to live for people that are gone and we think we're going to disappoint them. I want them to know that they never have to seek my approval, whether I'm here or passed on. They've always got my love. And I think the biggest thing that I want to tell them is mistakes are okay. You're going to learn throughout your life, and there is no mistake so big that you can't go, this doesn't define me as a person or define my life. I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to go on.
That's really good.
I think that's a big one for a lot of people, just letting their kids know that they are loved, no matter what.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Big. Love it, Jody.
Cassandra in Eden Park joins us. Good morning, Cassandra.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Your last words.
I would love my kids to know there is so much we could say. I would love to turn around and tell my kids that God made them perfectly who they are and for a reason, and to shine their light and never let the world dim it, because God's perfectly made them who they are for a reason. And the other things that I always want my kids to know, that there is no such thing as failing in life, because failure or failing in my eyes means first attempt in learning. So do everything with a humble heart, and then you'll never fail at anything. So just do you.
That is beautiful. I love that, Cassandra. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
These last words are word perfect.
Yeah.
Bonnie in Ferntree Gully, thank you for your patience as well.
I just felt like I came over here because my husband was offered a job in 71, and it was when they were recruiting teachers. Being over here was great. We stayed here, obviously. But when 1978, my dad had a heart surgery, we prayed. My dad passed away. And that was really hard for me because I couldn't say goodbye to him.
Bonnie.
a few years later, I went back to California to visit my mom. And while I was there, one of the people who was in charge suggested to me, write a letter to your dad and just tell him how you feel, what you wanted to say to him, but you didn't have the opportunity. So I did. I wrote this letter, and she said, just sit there and listen. You might feel that he's saying words to you as well. When I went from New Mexico back to California, I showed my mom and my uncle, this is what I wrote, and this is what I felt Daddy said. And they read it, and they said, that's your dad? That's what he would have said.
God bless you, Bonnie. What a beautiful story.
Oh, golly. All the feels this morning, Melbourne.
Well, that's a good exercise. It's a good hard exercise.
Yes, and just a reminder that talking about these things is heavy sometimes, but necessary because this is life. But if you have got no one to talk to and you want to talk to someone, you can always ring the Light Care line. It's an amazing initiative here at the Light. It's like having a cuppa with a friend. You just want some prayer, maybe like Bonnie, you've lost someone. There wasn't a chance to say goodbye, or maybe you're going through whatever and you're like, you know what, I just need a friend. Your friends are on 9583-CARE, 9583-2273.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
And dare I say, at the end of another successful podcast, would you dare not say that?
I would dare say it.
Ooh,
I'm going to dare it. I'm going to dare it. Ready?
Yep.
Good podcast.
Wow.
I dared it.
You did it.
So brave. And well done, Casey.
Thank you.
Are we all still cold in the studio? Casey complained earlier it was freezing in the studio.
I'm freezing.
Well, I've got a big jumper on.
I know. I
Can we
should have
talk
done a
about it
jumper.
quickly? Talk about my
It's
jumper.
stunning.
Talk about my jumper, everyone. Talk
Go.
about it. Talk about it. Go.
Cal, go, because you understand it more than me.
That's a very, very big assumption, Casey. But I understand what's going on. What I do understand is that you look great.
Yeah.
And that also,
So good.
also you look like some sort of motocross
Thank you.
lady that's just come out of the X Games.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes. It is a cool Adidas jumper, but like it's a new one, but it's styled like vintage. And it's like got a big cyclist on the front and it says...
Cyclone.
And it says Adidas, and it's got big stars, and it's bright yellow and red and white. And I put it on, and I was like, "This is the most iconic jumper."
It's sick.
Can I ask a question about the top now that I've looked at it more specifically?
Yeah.
Are you flushing?
What does that mean?
Are you flushing?
It says flushing on it.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Well,
Ask a
It might
cyclist.
be a cycling term.
Probably. That's not the first thing I thought when I heard flushing.
This is why I should have not asked him about
You
it.
said for me to pay attention to your top, and I've paid attention to it, and I'm asking, do you be flushing?
What is
Live Googling.
flushing in cycling? Oh, they call it flushing the legs when you're cycling to get rid of your lactic acid.
Oh, really?
So the flushing might be like move your legs.
Nah, there's no way.
It is. It's true. I found it on the internet.
I know, but I don't think Adidas has put in flushing.
Then why has Adidas put flushing on a cool jumper?
Nah,
Can
with
you
5
turn
stars.
around?
That's a brand. They've
you-
obviously collaborated with a brand called Flushin', and their logo is 4
Could you,
stars.
now that we're all paying attention to your top, could you turn around, please, for a second?
I'm telling
The
you.
back does say cycling, but the front does say flushing. We have not said it's not great. We said you look amazing.
Interesting. I've just found a vintage Adidas bag with this logo. So it is an old Adidas vintage that they've re-brought back, and it says Flushin' Cycling. So it is an Adidas thing.
There you go.
Interesting.
Doesn't make it worth more.
Who knows?
And on that bombshell, it's time to wrap up the podcast. Very thank you to Lucy and Casey, and to you all.
You're welcome.
And to you all for participating in this podcast. Have a great rest of whatever the time of day it is for you. And until we meet again, everybody.
Flushin'!
Well, that's all for now. But you can download more podcasts anytime or catch Lucy and Kel live weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on 89.9 The Light.
This is the end bit. This is the end bit.
Woo!
This is the end bit of the show.
And bit.